What's up YouTube, ODST General back again with Live the Life, a RP type of game. I don't know, it's not really an RP game. It's kind of in the same vein as Identity and Raw and all those other games though that are kind of like RP games, but this one's a bit different and I want to go ahead and talk about it. Now, I am not sure if this music's going to get me in trouble or not. I've unfortunately gotten no music options as you guys can see, so we're going to leave it on. And yeah, hopefully we don't get dinged. So I've actually had to lower my settings for this game. So one thing with this game right off bat is it's not very well optimized. I'll say that just right from the get-go. But my overall impressions of the game are very mixed. There is some really good things about the game and some very bad things about the game, and a lot of it just kind of pertains to quality and a lack of content. So I've already sunk actually quite a surprising amount of time. I actually was looking at this earlier, and I've sunk about 13 hours into this game already, believe it or not. So for a $15 game, 13 hours of gameplay is not bad at all. Now, I can play a lot more repetitive and kind of, I suppose, droll or mediocre games than a lot of folks can, so that's something worth keeping in mind too, guys. With that being said, anyways, Live the Life. So basically you get in here, you start off with a empty apartment, nothing on the walls, and as you guys can see, we've actually gotten to decorating our apartment pretty well here. So actually was showing some of this off in a video before, and then I actually had OBS crash on me, and I don't know if that was an issue of the game or something else. I've had some issues recently after a Windows update, and Windows update again seemed to fix most of the problems, but I've had a couple other OBS crashes, so I don't think it's a game issue. I think it was just unrelated. It just happened to be in a kind of not perfect game. But as you guys can see, this ceiling here, I haven't changed the color of the ceiling. I've made a conscious decision to keep it as is because I like the brighter color. But you guys can see that. That's basically what the entire house looked like, and the time's just changed. It's just gotten to like 8 p.m. and so as soon as it hits 8 p.m. it just gets like instantaneously darker, which kind of sucks. The lights are on right here in the kitchen. The lights in this suck. The lights in this game are absolute pure garbage. It is so dark even with the lights on. I mean, like, really, this is lights off and this is lights on. You can see there's kind of a difference, but it's like barely noticeable. I mean, this is still almost completely in shadow and everything, so that's something I would like to see changed. It's actually kind of a big thing, I think, being able to see in your house at night. Like, maybe I have the wrong lights or something, but there's no luminance indicators for the lights anywhere, so if there is brighter lights, I don't know. And then these things have all screwed up. These were actually originally when I put them down. I was originally going to put them on the floor lining each side of the hallway, and it wouldn't let me do that. And now, like, they've all bugged out, and they're all flipped over all sorts of different directions and everything, too. Yes, there's a lot of small little flaws and bugs with the game, and there's just a lot of quality of life stuff I would like to see changed just right off bat. So right now, it's Tuesday. Today was our day off in game, and then we've got to go back to work. So we've got a job in here, and our job is John's Diner, and we work as a janitor over there. So that's like the first job we got. There's currently 2 jobs in game you can get, or 2 companies you can work for. One's John's Diner and the other one's the Cake Cafe or something like that. We're gonna go ahead and go to sleep, and our shift starts actually at 9. We're actually going to change the time on this just a little bit because I had set to 8 and that was just not quite enough time. We're just gonna throw this on full sleep and we're gonna wake up at the start of our shift. Now you can set the time. It doesn't seem to be an exact science to, like, when you wake up or anything like that without the timer. It seems semi-random, but it's fine. So, you have to actually shut off our alarm clock. It'll keep going. So we've got different clothes and stuff, so you can change your clothing. I haven't figured out if you can go third person. If you look down, you can see your clothes, so I guess there's a reason to change there that way. But other than that, the clothes are supposed to get dirty, it seems like, but I've only had to, like, wash my clothes once and they've not gotten dirty since then, so I don't know if that's a bug or something else. We need to go to the bathroom though. Oh, nope, didn't want to do that. That's gonna be cold. sit in the toilet water before we laid that down there. So, yeah, I mean, you can see that a little bit more in depth than maybe what it needs to be. But, yeah, we basically do that. And then we're in pretty desperate need of a shower. Now, you can take your clothes off when you're showering. And, I mean, your character will actually take their clothes off. But there isn't really a reason to. I mean, you can shower clothed, and the game's not going to punish you for that. As far as I can tell, it takes just as much time to shower clothed as it does if you're dirty. Or, not dirty, but naked. That's why you're showering, is because you're dirty. No, yeah, so, I mean, that is, that's fine. I mean, I don't mind the showering and stuff. So, I mean, that's a lot of the game. It's just, it's maintaining your character's life, making sure your character's fed and clothed, and, they've got stuff to drink and all this other stuff. So, I mean, that's just the core of the game. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to have our breakfast of water and crackers. Actually, I think that one's it's a juice. That's not one of the waters. Yeah. We got some juice, and I've got some waters around in different spots, so I got mixed up. Anyways, I mean, there's a whole bunch of different things in the game, though, that you can do. So, I mean, this whole apartment when we got here was empty. I've accidentally made the mistake of wasting some money setting this up. There was some things I got, like, this garbage can's useful because you'll get trash and stuff, and you can throw it out outside, but it's easier just to have this garbage can. As far as I can tell, you actually don't need to take the trash out, which is kind of weird. I think that's something that should need to be done. But, I've bought in furnishing. Some of the stuff I can't utilize, like this picture, I can't actually utilize the picture yet here. And this cabinet here I got is okay. I meant to put my dishes and stuff, but, like, you've got these doors here on the sides, and as far as I can tell, you can't actually utilize the shelves on this. So, like, literally all you can use is these drawers right here on the bottom and the middle and stuff. But, like, up in the top here, like, you'd think you could put dishes and stuff up there, and you can't, which is weird to me. Our character's already kind of hungry a little bit still. Probably weren't quite full when we ate that. If we go into our escape menu, we can kind of see. So he's still kind of hungry and everything. The crackers aren't like super duper filling. So we're going to go ahead and just eat the last of those and toss them. And, yeah. So we're going to go ahead and start heading down to work. Our character works in about 30 minutes in game time, so we got to get down that way a little bit quickly here. And, yeah, so we'll take the elevator down. So we live in this little apartment building, just this rundown, super cheap apartment building. Now, it looks like eventually there will be more apartments that you can rent, but right now it's just this one right here, just this cheap little building in the middle of the city. There's a number of locations you can visit. It looks like more are on the way, like that pharmacy. It looks like it's going to be somewhere you'll be able to visit, but it's not there yet. But you can, like, go into the furniture store and buy furniture and stuff. So here we've got the restaurant, and you guys can see frames are kind of dropping a little bit too. But we're going to go inside and get ready to clock in for work. So this is where we work, so we're going to just head into the back here. And if you go here, this is the work board, the schedule and everything, and you can see we've got shifts today from 9 o'clock a.m. to 1700 hours, and our shifts for Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. If we want during our shift, we can take a 1 hour break. You're not required to. I personally don't. I don't know if you lose money if you take the break or not, but I just choose not to take the break. Because it's really not, like, that big of a difference, and usually your character doesn't, like, need to eat during your shift. It's not, like, super desperate. And then if you go over to, like, tutorials and stuff like that, you can see there's actually different levels. So you start off as a janitor, then you go up to waiter, and then you go up to chef after that, and the jobs are actually fairly in-depth from what I've seen. At least the janitor is. There's a lot of things to do that keep you busy in little different aspects. Now, it can get a little bit repetitive. I was hoping that once I filled up the bar, I would be able to move on to waiter after completing it. So I've done like a week in game time, and I still have not actually gotten past the janitor job. It's still got me as janitor. So I don't know how far we'll need to get in to get to waiter and then chef after that. But it's kind of, it's good and bad thing. I think it's kind of mixed just because there isn't a huge amount to do in the game right now aside from these jobs. So, oh, someone spilled a drink outside. So I'm going to go ahead and get this spill right here. There's a lot of little footprints and stuff around here that need to be addressed. So hopefully I don't lose this. This gets, I've lost this one time. It was sad. I had to use like the hand shams to clean it up. So let's get all the little wet spots while we've got this mop with us right now. And then that's a dry spot, and we'll need to pick up the cup here too. We'll check the bathroom. And there is both a wet and a dry spot in here, so we'll get both of those. So, yeah, I mean, as far as the jobs go, the jobs keep you busy. My real issue is that there isn't really much to do in this game outside of the jobs. I mean, you've got decorating your apartment, which can keep you pretty busy. I mean, you can definitely get, like, the basics of everything you'll need pretty quickly. Oh, what did I grab here? Oh, I don't want this. You can get the basics what you need pretty easily, but you start getting to like more expensive stuff like refrigerators and stoves and sinks and stuff like that, and it starts to add up pretty quickly. And again, like I said, I kind of wasted some money. I wasn't like the most efficient I could have been with the money I had, just because like I didn't know like certain foods you could eat multiple times. It tells you, but I missed it. And there's some like quality issues like this bucket. You can see the water is just like a square that goes around on the outside of the bucket, but I mean, it's not such a big deal. Like, you can't see it there. It looks fine there, so I don't know why it's the issue. It's an issue on the red bucket, but saying we need to do the dishes just popped up, so we're gonna go ahead and come back out here and grab the dishes. So you'll get these jobs that randomly assign and stuff, and they'll pop up in different spots. So we're going to turn the sink back on, and we're going to stick these dishes under the sink. So that was actually the one thing that really surprised me about this title, is that the jobs seem a lot more in-depth than what I expected, given the quality of this title. There's spelling errors, and like I said, you've got performance issues with this game. Now, I'm running a 3070, and, you know, I've got just generally a pretty good system. This is, I think, just on one of my standard hard drives, not one of my SSDs, so maybe that's part of it. But, you know, other than that, everything else is new stuff that was just basically, you know, put into the computer this, you know, either this year or, you know, partway through last year. So, anyways, nonetheless, it's pretty fun as far as the jobs and stuff go. Like I said, they do really keep you busy. So it wants us to clean the table here. There's usually stuff constantly popping up as far as tasks and stuff to do, and then there's just little tiny things to clean around the places you're going here. And then again, that's just the janitor job. I don't know what the other jobs are going to look like, or if we'll have like cleaning and stuff we'll still need to do once we get promoted, but we'll be making more money. As you can see, we're making 15 an hour at level 2. We still got a ways to progress off to the next level, unfortunately. Somebody spilled a drink. Okay. Grab our mop again. Yeah, they're keeping us busy here today. Normally I have time to like get to all this stuff, but they're just it's like out of toilet paper. Dishes need to be cleaned. Somebody spilled something. They're not giving me a break here. But yeah, again, outside of the jobs, though, there's not much to do. You do have, like I said, decorating your apartment, and well, that keeps you busy to an extent. Once you get that kind of done, or, you know, you get to a point that you just can't afford the other stuff you want, and you have to, like, build up your funds with working, it kind of sucks, because, like, literally, I'll get to my days off now, and it's like, well, I can't afford to go out and buy the sink or the stove or the refrigerator or whatever else I need, so it's like, I guess I'll just sit here and do nothing, because you know, you can only go out and do so much. You can, you know, it's like the only reason to go out is to like go out and purchase stuff. There isn't really any exploration. The game's only like a block, like one city block, and you know, well, there is a small aspect of exploration to unlock what the areas are and get them on your mini map to actually see what the areas are. Once you see them, you know, there isn't really any reason to do that. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to wet our mop here, and now that it's wet, we can use it to clean up all these dry spots, all these footprints and like food stains and stuff on the floor. We can finally get all this stuff. So we'll do this now that we have a minute. So, you know, you're inclined to do all this stuff just because you do get points for this, and of course as you expand and get more and more points, you get promoted, so you just want to do as much as you can to try and get this stuff kind of done quickly here and get as much of it as you can in a shift. So actually we're going to take this. So you can actually use these. You can use these not just on the counter. You can actually use them on the ground. It's just you have to crouch over to do it. So we're going to go ahead and clean that up. Just because our mop's already wet, I'm not going to use the mop. It's telling me I can't place this here. I think I bugged it out. I think I interacted with something. I think this thing's going to be stuck in my hand now. Yeah. So this will probably be stuck on my hand for the duration of the rest of the video here. Unfortunately. But hey, it is what it is. Alright, so we've got, like I said, we got a couple other areas that need to be cleaned up. But yeah, so I would definitely like to see something to do outside of the actual, like, job or the standard, like, daily missions and stuff. Just because, again, there isn't really anything for you, the player, to do. Yeah, there is another job, but I don't think it coincides or works with the time you're working here. You might be able to work both. Oh, is this dry? Oh, it did dry out. Obnoxious. Okay, well, that's fine. They wanted us to do something. I haven't, like, really looked at the pop-ups they've been telling us. I don't know what they were telling us to do. It looks like somebody finished eating. Need to change the toilet paper. Yes, the owner of John's Diner is John Diner Jr., by the way, guys. He's a boss. So anyways, yeah, we're going to get this cleaned up here. We'll get that other cup picked up, too, in just a second here. I'm going to try and throw this over here. There we go. The other one, again, still permanently stuck in our hand until, like, I think we reset the game or whatever. So we're going to go pick this cup up, too, and toss this. I wish we had to, like, actually put these cups in the sink or actually wash them. Like, I mean, you know, we keep busy enough, I guess, without having to do that. It's not a huge deal, but just throwing them out seems kind of weird. Like, at least throw them, like, here or something. Like, have a disposal bin for, like, plates and stuff. And then, like, have that be, like, what dictates when we need to wash dishes to an extent. Let's pick this up, too. Need to do the dishes. Speaking of dishes. So, yeah, I mean, again, you know, I actually am having, you know, to a certain extent fun with the jobs. I mean, they're fast-paced enough. You don't really get bored or, you know, it keeps you busy. It keeps you preoccupied. I think some people would find themselves getting bored with this. The other thing is the outside of the game, outside of what's actually in gameplay, is with terms of the developer. There's only one developer behind this project. I don't know really anything about the guy other than, you know, I'm guessing he's not like a native English speaker because there's a lot of spelling errors in the game, which I'm guessing is a foreign language translation issue or something. The guy has talked with the community a couple times. Like, he's made posts reaching out to the community and be like, hey, what do you guys want to see in the game? But the last time he really seems to have interacted with the community was when the game first came out in September of last year. Outside of that, he's still pushing updates and stuff. He's still working on the game, but he just does not seem to talk to the community. Which there isn't necessarily anything wrong with that, but it does make it harder to judge the game because there isn't a Discord or anything. We really don't have any insight to the behind-the-scenes workings of the game or like what's going on with development and stuff. It might be out there. They've got a YouTube channel and stuff, but I just really could not find out like what future plans are for this title. Now, personally, what I would like to see, I mean, aside from like quality of life stuff, and there's a ton of quality of life things, like the frame rate and stuff needs to be improved. Inventory usage could be improved, you know, like pulling stuff out of like your inventory or your pack or whatever, and then going to like be able to use that stuff right away could be vastly improved. So you can see we're still level 2. Made a decent amount of progress. We made a little bit of money there too. Still not really enough to get anything we need, unfortunately. I mean, a lot of our stuff's still going towards like food and stuff at this point between our shifts. So, I mean, we work again tomorrow, and you know, we're gonna end up needing to eat and stuff again. As you guys can see here, those crackers we had, surprisingly, weren't enough to fill us up permanently. If we go next door, though, you guys can see there's a whole bunch of things over here. There's, like, cooking stoves. How much money do I have here? So we've got $200 in rent. It looks like our rent might be due now. So actually I can't spend any money on that. I'm going to have to go pay my rent, and then utilities will be due at some point. I don't know what to expect from utilities, but we'll run down to the bank real quick and actually pay off the rent. So you do have to worry about things like rent and utilities, and of course you do have to buy food. And again, your clothing can get dirty, and you need to worry about, you know, washing your clothes and maintaining that so that your character has, you know, high energy and all this other stuff. And I don't really actually know if there's like a big negative impact to that. Actually not washing your clothes. I'm guessing like I've seen energy will drop down and stuff if your character's tired or hungry and stuff, your energy bar drops down and seems to maybe even deplete a little bit quicker. But it doesn't seem very drastic, so like you can really get away with a lot. But I don't know. There might be like a point where you just starve to death if you go too long. Interesting. It's an invisible NPC. So let's see here. This is not going to leave us with much money, but we only need to last until tomorrow, and then we'll get another paycheck tomorrow. So we'll pay off our bill. Our rent is now gone, as you guys can see. And that's paid off. So we're only got $12 to our name. Oh my god, I'm stuck inside the bank. It closed while I was inside. And this is an issue here, too. This is something I've actually seen in a different area, but the other one, it let me out from the inside. There was, like, an alternative exit. I probably got in just as the doors closed behind me or something. Okay, that's an issue. That's a big issue. Is there not another way out of here? There's not. This is something that needs to be fixed. This is ridiculous that, like, you can get locked into a building, and it's super easy to do. Like, I was in here when it closed after work. I wasn't paying attention at the time. Like, you're not going to get, like, locked in the building. Like, I get, like, if you get in here first, you know, this isn't real life. You don't have to worry about being a dick to these digital video game characters and coming in, like, when their shift's over. So just let me out the doors, and then just don't let the doors open from the outside after a certain time. So, I mean, what we can do is we can just sleep on the floor. I guess that's what we're gonna have to do. Kind of sucks, but it is not really an alternative. So we're just gonna sleep on the floor of the bank for tonight until they let us out. Our character is probably going to be pretty worn out and pretty beat after this, but it is out of our hands. At any rate, guys, yeah, that's a big issue. So like I said, there's a ton of quality of life issues. Oh, right, because it's still too early for us to actually get out, because we can't leave until it's 8. It's 7 right now. This sucks actually a little bit worse because we need to get back to our apartment to eat. And that is going to be kind of difficult because we also have work at 9. And we're on the other side of town. So, I mean, you know, it's not like the end of the world that we got locked in the bank, but yeah, now our character's even more exhausted. He needs to take a shower and all this other stuff, and, like, we're gonna be late to work. Now, again, I don't really know what happens if you're late to work. I've been, like, a little bit late to work, and there doesn't seem to be a punishment. Out of curiosity, part of me is curious to just be like, I'm either not going to go to work today or I'm going to go to work, like, an hour late and see what happens. But then part of me is like, if I get negatively punished or fired from my job, that would suck, because I also want to see, we're going to cross the crosswalk on red. I also want to see what happens if, you know, we actually get promoted and stuff. And I want to see the waiter job, and I want to see the chef job and all that other stuff. So I could run to the grocery store. Actually, that might be the smarter move here at this point, instead of trying to go up to the 4th floor of my apartment, get into my kitchen, grab food out of there and everything. It's probably going to be honestly faster just to go buy the food. I don't have much money, but I've got enough that I can just get in here real quick and do it. We're going to be a little bit late to work, but it is out of our hands at this point. I mean, it's not completely out. It's not completely out of our hands. Like, I could just go to work and just not eat, but again, like, I'm dealing with stuff. I don't know what the end results are going to be at this point. And we're just going to buy these 2 things.
Yes.
So that's all we have money for.
Bye.
And we are going to sprint over to the diner, which is just across the street, thankfully. Do some more jaywalking, which is kind of ironic given our recent play of so much police simulator patrol officers recently, where I've been just dinging jaywalker after jaywalker. I've just been giving them warnings, though, so you guys can see I'm a little bit more open to it, although that was, like, super questionable. Traffic still gets, like, jammed up like crazy and stuff, too. Alright, so our shift has started, but before we actually go into our shift here, I'm going to go ahead and eat and drink. So that's one obnoxious thing, is that you actually have to, like, pick up your drinks and stuff after you, like, you have to pull them out of the bag and then you have to actually, like, put them down to be able to use them. It would be nice if you could just use food and stuff, like, straight out of the bag. I don't think it's going to be such a big deal, like, once my character gets a little bit more established and I get to the point that I can just, you know, like, have, like, stuff in my pantry, and my pantries are all going to be stocked and I'm just cooking food at home. Like, I don't think it'll be such a big deal. But that's not the case right now. Alright, so go ahead and get this cleaned up. So I don't know really what to expect gameplay-wise with this in the future, though. As far as additions to the game, I mean, there's so many directions they could go with a game like this. Of course, you know, eventually seeing multiplayer in a game like this would be nice. You know, the thing is that people want games like Identity and Raw and all this other stuff. They just want them to actually be good, you know, and there isn't really anything like that that's been successful or decent that's, you know, also multiplayer. You know, everything's been like asset flips, where it's just people taking, like, pre-made assets and turning around and just making the, like, the most basic game they can possibly make with those assets, and trying to make a profit off of it, you know, just trying to flip it around. And it's kind of unfortunate, you know, because, you know, I have interest in playing a game like this. I would love to play, like, a multiplayer version of this. You know, my channel had a big thing on it was Arma 3 Life and Arma 3 Project Life for a while there. A little less so Project Life, just because a lot of the community was already kind of leaving to, like, GTA at that point. I never made the transfer to GTA. You know, I was playing GTA before the Life community moved over there doing the LSPDFR stuff, and I just kind of got burnt out onto it by the time the Life community moved from Arma to GTA. I was kind of done with GTA at that point, ironically. I ended up sticking with Arma for the Milsim stuff, for Optray, obviously. You know, content-wise, though, I definitely, if I were to say anything I'd want to prioritize, aside from quality of life issues like spelling errors, which are kind of on the smaller side, and, like, frame drops and stuff, and just things like this getting stuck in my hand or items disappearing, what I would like to see is having more things to do on your day off. I think just, even if it's, like, busy work around your house, not anything, like, quite as crazy as what this place can be, where it's just non-stop. But, you know, things like needing to actually take out the trash after a while, like, after throwing X amount of items into the garbage bin, like, you have to actually take out the trash to your apartment. Things like that to keep a little bit busier, just to keep kind of preoccupied throughout the day, you know, maybe needing to, like, wash your you know, bedding and stuff like that, and actually needing to take that down to the laundromat, too, to wash it, potentially. Let's see here. I don't even know what we have. It's not nearly as dirty as usual, but I swear I saw something else that needed to be done here. There was a stain out here on the floor. So something like that would be great to have, just busy work on the day off, or something to keep you preoccupied, or the ability to pick up a second job and just do that second job to keep a little bit busier, maybe make a little bit more money a little bit quicker, because obviously that's kind of a big holdback on getting the apartment real nice and stuff, and just getting it decent. And the other thing is I've also got pretty cheap stuff too in the apartment. You know, while I'm fairly happy with the way it looks already, I can definitely improve it. But, like, the cost of it goes up significantly, so you can go really crazy with the apartment. They did a good job on that, I'll say that. And we're just gonna hang out with this gentleman here. Maybe have more detailed NPC interactions. To be honest, A game like this, again, if this is multiplayer, you don't really need NPC interactions, and even though it's not multiplayer, I still, even as a single player game, I don't really see much reason to have NPC interactions. I don't even think I get points for picking up this cup either. I just prefer to pick them up and throw them out. Get that part. Oh, it looks like I did get a little bit of experience for it. So I don't know, maybe we need to go around and we need to try and get these plates a little bit more frequently too. Oh, that's a wet spill. We need to bring that out. Get a dry mop for the wet spill. Okay, there we go. But yeah, I don't know. What would you guys like to see in a game like this? I guess that's one thing I want to know is what do you guys want to see this game improved? For me, it would definitely be just, you know, additional things to do when you're, oh, something should be cleaned up. I hate when he says this should be cleaned up because it never actually puts up a marker, so it's like, am I just supposed to guess? Is it like all these things, or is this supposed to be like all these done plates and stuff? Is this all supposed to be like the waiter or waitress that does this? A lot of times it's obviously it's the waiter and waitress that actually come and get these dishes, but I'm specifically a janitor for this for the restaurant, so I don't know. It doesn't tell me to get them ever. And I don't get very many points for actually grabbing them, but could be getting some. I mean, we did see my points go up at least once. I'm not grabbing that knife there. I can grab that knife. Last time I picked it up, my game crashed. Fried eggs destroyed. Need to change that toilet paper. Can I just take these people's plates? I can. You're not eating this, are you? Just toss your fried eggs. Everybody's got fried eggs. I mean, it is a diner, but it's also like the afternoon. Is there really that many people eating fried eggs right now? Yeah, I definitely want to check out the cooking and stuff, and I wouldn't mind checking out the other job too. So there will probably be more videos on this, but I would like, outside of the game, I would like a little bit better clarity on like where the game's going development-wise, like what's planned for the future of the game and stuff. And you know, the developer, again, he has a YouTube channel and stuff, and I think there's some talk about it, but a little bit clearer of a path or somewhere like where I could definitely go and be like, this is their Trello board or whatever, and this is like what's being worked on now would be nice for a project like this. The developer is saying that the game should be ready for full release sometime in summer of 2022. Now, it's kind of interesting because there was another YouTuber who covered this game when it came out in September, and they were actually talking about the release date for the final product of the game, and they were saying summer 2021 in that version. Obviously, that's definitely not the case. I think even summer 2022 is ambitious for this game, given the state it's currently in. It's a very promising game, but it's not a polished game, that's for sure. I think a lot of people are going to look at this, and this looks and feels in many ways like a acid flip, but it's more than that. So hopefully they can, I say they, or I should say he, the lone developer behind this project, can get this polished up and looking like new, and you know, get things a little bit more fleshed out, because there is a lot of promise to this game, but it definitely needs a lot more to it before it's actually what I would call a good game. But again, you know, for a $15 game, I've definitely put a lot of time and energy into it here, and I've definitely had a fair amount of fun with it, all things considered. But I don't think everybody that watches this video is going to get the same amount of joy out of this as I will. Because again, I play a lot of stuff that I know some of you guys find mediocre or even just like downright boring, and for me, it's, you know, fun or at least enjoyable, and that's not the case for everybody. I liked Fishing Planet, for instance, so my friends thought I was nuts for liking Fishing Planet. Toilet paper needs to be changed again. It's finally the outside. I don't know how the employee bathroom needs toilet paper changes that much. The only person who can be sneaking in and out of there that much has got to be the boss. It's got to be John Diner Jr. She's definitely not coming through here. Like, I would see if she was coming through. The chef doesn't seem to be sneaking in there unless he's sneaking in there when I go out. He's the only one that I couldn't watch the whole time. And what are you even doing, John Diner Jr.? What are you doing in there? Actually, his, can we turn this off? No, we can't turn it off. I was curious about it. Just hang out in the boss's office. Need to do the dishes. Well, I don't think that really matters, but okay, I'll bring the dishes back. My shift ends in a few seconds anyways, but sure, let's try to get one of these cleaned, I guess, before it ends. Yeah, I got a smidgen of XP here. Shift is over. Now, we did get a new level up, so you guys get to see that. So we went from $15 per hour to $20 per hour. We are still a janitor, though. That is a bummer. So that's that kind of sucks. It'd be nice if we got promoted, but you know, again, it's not something I'm like really surprised about. That plate's bugged out. So, all right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and call the video there. Hopefully, in the next, I don't know, probably next time we do this, hopefully I'll be like a waiter and I can show you guys that aspect of the game and the other stuff if you guys want to see more of this. Again, it's kind of an interesting game. It's got potential, and I definitely want to show more of it off. I would just definitely say, if you guys are looking at this, or if you guys saw Jeff Fabiano's video, which is how I found out about it, I would definitely say approach this game cautiously. Approach it aware that this game has a lot of flaws, that I'm running this on a powerful system, and my alarm clock's going off. And I'm still struggling to an extent. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Take it easy. I'll see you all in the next one.